I'm lucky to see DJ Citizen Jane, so we're very excited. It's a little bit of a different way of doing interviews, but we're great pleasure to get you on the show, Straight Talk. I'm J Mac, so I'm one of the hosts. One of my other hosts is hiding somewhere, so we're making the best we can. So welcome to the show.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Great. So tell,
Visiting Canada virtually.
yeah, no kidding, eh? I think we met in Caribbean Pride in the Dominican.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, so it's been a
That was
while.
fun.
Actually, it was a lot of fun. That
Were
was
you in the one that had the hurricane coming to us, or not that, or the one before?
No, I think that was the one before. Yeah.
Yes, because I got stuck on there. I mean, I did it, I think 3 years in a row, and I got stuck on the one that had one of the hurricanes coming to us, and everybody had to leave an emergency out of there.
Oh, yeah, that was the year before.
Yes,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was crazy.
I was there with
Everybody was having a great time, and the next day we had to rush out of there.
I was actually there with Misconception and everybody.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Oh, I love Misconception.
actually, oddly enough, we're doing an interview at 6:30 with Misconception.
Oh,
So there you go. Should have got you both together. Would have been interesting.
that would have been fun. Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about your background. Like you've done some pretty amazing things. So maybe I want to enlighten some people about what you've done and those kind of things.
Oh, I pretty much. My background started singing, songwriting, which I'm going back to those roots again now. Which I'll tell you a little more about my new song that's out on Spotify and iTunes and all that stuff. And then I just went into the DJ world. I mean, I had my rock band, kind of broke up, and then went into the DJ world and stayed there and started producing mixes. And I've traveled the world, Europe, Australia, Canada, pretty much everywhere, all over the US, all the prides and all the major music festivals. And that's pretty much what I've done for those that don't know.
Right, right. So what's this song? What's the inspiration of it? And I know you got some time to write it right now, obviously.
This song talks about it's a little bit of the interpretation of whoever, however you want to interpret the song. It could be an affair that someone's having, or it could be, an affair with drugs. I mean, a lot of people ruin their lives by dabbling into the drugs, and they don't know how much it's going to ruin everything, relationships, jobs, even die from it. So kind of want to leave that message out there. It's kind of like a say no to drugs, positive message. But like I said, once you see the video, if you listen to the song, you don't know it's about that. I mean, but once you see the video, you can see the message that we're relaying with that.
Right. So what's kind of your creative process then? What's kind of like, how do you get to where you want to go?
I mean, a lot of times they're autobiographical. This song was not. It's, the songwriter that was writing with me, it's kind of more personal to her. About someone that she lost, that they chose drugs over their relationship and stuff like that, and we kind of worked it together. But I mean, it all depends. A lot of songs, I mean, I just had a song that came to me in a dream, so I mean, there's not really an actual process that I have. It just either happens, or I could be in a bar and I just start writing on a napkin. I mean, it just comes to me. It just, all the songs and the lyrics and stuff, or somebody tells me a story and I write a song about it. So they just come to me, I guess.
That's awesome. So it's not like the process of I got to eat red M&Ms and then it all
No. No.
Well, you hear some crazy stories sometimes.
No, but yeah, I mean, everybody has their own little knickknacks on songwriting.
Right, that's for sure. So what's some of the most memorable things that you've done in the past? Like you've done some pretty big things. So what's like a couple that may have stood out for you?
I mean, I really, really enjoyed going to Australia. I did a little mini tour there because I went to do Sydney Mardi Gras, which is one of the biggest. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's one of the biggest prides that there is. I was playing for like 45,000 people, and it was insane. I mean, when they brought me up on it's like an elevated stage that they bring you up on, like hydraulics. I couldn't believe all the people that were there. It was very shocking, and
Right.
I mean, I took a deep breath before I started because it was a little impacting, but it was great. I mean, that's a great memory, and just getting to travel all over Australia. Like Sydney felt like I was in New York City. It was just very, metropolis and stuff like that. And then Brisbane was very kind of like Miami. It's and every place was different there in Australia, and it was great to just travel around. So that was one of the fun things I did. When I went to Calgary, I have a funny story because I did Vancouver Pride like a month and a half before Calgary Pride. Vancouver's totally different weather. So it was the first time I had ever been to Vancouver. So it was like, it was great. It was sunny. It was warm. And then I go a month and a half later to Calgary Pride, and it snowed the day I got there. But the funny thing is that I showed up in flip flops thinking I was still in Vancouver weather because I had never been to Calgary. And the customs agent goes to me, "You're going to go out there like that?" And he was just laughing. He didn't tell me why. So when I went out there, I was freezing. I had to go to a store and get myself a coat. But Pride still went on. It was raining. It was freezing, but everyone was still there partying. It was such a great experience to see, how they do it over there. Because here in Miami, if it rains, people don't even want to go out. So it's funny how over there it was freezing, but everybody was still celebrating and having a great time. I really enjoyed that.
Well, if you're Canadian, if you're a little scared of a little bit of weather, you don't go anywhere then. It's like,
Exactly.
and in Calgary, if you just wait long enough, it changes anyway.
It
Usually the
does. They
same
were
day.
telling me because the very next day I got to explore the city. It was warm again, and it was bipolar. Totally, it was crazy.
Bipolar weather in Calgary, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, what's wow? I want to say what were you planning to do this summer, but I guess there's nothing right at the moment, right?
It's funny because I was super booked for all the or like a lot of prides, and like I said, some of them are on hold because some of them they're planning on postponing them to like October. Some of them have postponed to October, September. Some of them just canceled altogether. Like Miami Beach Pride, I don't know if they're going to even do it. Theirs was in the summer. Fort Lauderdale Pride was in the summer, and those have canceled. I mean, I don't think they're going to end up doing them. West Palm Beach Pride canceled. I mean, a lot of prides have canceled. I have one coming up in New Orleans, which they have not canceled. What they did is they postponed it to July.
Right.
So it was supposed to be in June and they moved it to July. I have another festival that moved to October, and then I have North Carolina Pride, which I'm looking forward to, and that's in August.
Oh
So
yeah.
hopefully we'll be good by then.
Yeah. Well, that's not too warm in August in North Carolina.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it'll be different.
I know there's a bunch in Canada that have kind of postponed, trying to hope that it kind of pans out in some way or another. But I know a lot of them are canceling too, so it's just people just don't know. That's the downside. So,
Yeah,
and
because even if this whole thing ends, I mean, or they put like put a stop to it to the lockdown, they're still not going to want like so many people conglomerating at the same time. Just not yet. So that's
yeah.
why we're in this whole like we don't know what's going to happen.
So actually, it's funny because when we talk about DJs, people get this picture of a DJ, right? That they just spin music and stuff like that. Maybe you want to squash that a little bit because you have a lot of talent. So I want to
Well,
give you
yeah. The
that
funny part
chance.
is that they think the DJs press a button,
Right.
and that's not the way it works. I mean, I've had people even come on the DJ booth because sometimes they'll come there and they'll be like, just switch the song to the next song, and it doesn't happen that way. You got to get the BPMs correctly. You got to beat match. You got to it's got to be in the same kind of like a little wave that you're going to. And
Yeah.
people don't know that. People just want, hey, just put the next slow jam in, or while you're pumping up the crowd, and it doesn't work that way. And they think that we're just not being pleasing, and I'm a people pleaser, so I really get their songs in at some point, but they gotta kind of be patient until it comes around to that, you know, to the beat matches or whatever. But people think they just think that you just press a button until you actually get on there and see how it's done. And I'm a producer, so I do mixes.
Yeah.
I produce my own mixes, so it's a little different, because I go in the studio and I produce my own beats, into the songs and stuff like that. So it's a little bit different than when I'm playing live. But I mean, I do all my sets live. I'm not a DJ that comes with a flash drive and pops it in, and my mix is already done. That takes the fun out of it. I love to just watch the crowd and just all of a sudden I have a song that I'm going to play, but then I see somebody else and I just change it at the last minute. That's the fun adrenaline of that makes you a DJ. I mean, that's what it makes it for me. Everybody's different, I guess.
Yeah. No, of course. Like it's funny because people just don't get it. They just think it's all computer programs and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You could walk away from that. It's like, no, not really.
Well, I started on vinyl, so I started on vinyls, and I still play vinyls and stuff like that. But and then the CD era came, and then it's the computer. I mean, but that doesn't mean that you're not really DJing. It's just you're playing the song off of that versus a CD or versus a vinyl. Instead of putting the needle in, you're actually the plates are motorized and everything on the CDJs and everything. So you're really scratching, you're really mixing. It's not it's just a little more digitized, but you're still putting in the work,
Yeah.
the creative work.
Well, well, that's good because it's nice to hear that people actually still do that.
Yes. I mean, that's why I do it because it's fun. I mean, like I said, there's DJs that'll go out there and they just don't want to be stressed out or thinking at that moment, and that's what makes it fun for me. I want to be in with the crowd and what they're feeling and what they're listening. And if they ask me for a song, I can definitely get it in there at some point in my set. So that's what
Yeah.
I like to do.
So did you ever think in your life this is what you'd be doing now?
Absolutely. Music has always been my life. That was like my first love. And
Really?
as a kid, I used to pretend that I was a radio host and, with a microphone and like putting in the songs back in the, cassettes and different things and mixing. And, I grew up in a house full of musicians from my father's side and my brother. And so it's the only thing that I really wanted. I mean, I have a different background. I was in law enforcement and I have a degree in psychology and all that stuff, but music has always been what I love to do,
So you
my
were in
passion.
law enforcement too?
Yes,
Wow.
that was a while back.
Wow, that's actually where I started.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to work in a prison, so it was like,
Oh wow.
yeah, it's crazy. So I'm glad I
Yes, it
don't do it
is.
anymore. I feel really bad for those guys that are still in there. So
Oh my God, yes.
yeah, but anyway, wow, that's really quite the history. So you went from prison, law enforcement to music
Yes.
with
I mean,
psychology.
I've always done both, but I mean, like, just, it's just music has always been like, what makes me happy and what I can take out there and make everybody happy because music's universal. It makes everybody come together. So that's why I do it.
Yeah, exactly. I completely understand. As music does, it can certainly increase somebody's mood or make them in a better
Hmm.
space and stuff like that. I mean, how many people of us dance around in our living rooms naked, right?
I feel like
Nobody
that's how
like.
I'm using my psychology degree is through music right now. Somehow.
Well, hopefully people
Giving
are.
therapy in that way.
Yeah. Well, dance like nobody's watching. It's all good,
There you go.
right? Well, I really want to thank you for taking some time out because we really appreciate that. And I know you have a pretty busy schedule, and I don't want to tear you away that. And hopefully, we're going to see you soon. Is the goal?
Absolutely. Yes. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I
Yeah,
love Canada.
yeah. So hopefully,
People
we
are
get you out
awesome.
there.
So much fun.
Yeah, they drink really well too.
And it's beautiful. Canada, everywhere in Canada is beautiful.
Yeah, it is. It actually really is amazing. So, thanks very much, and really appreciate everything. And hopefully, we'll see you soon.
Awesome. Thank you. Send you guys a big kiss. Take care. Bye
You
bye.
too.